Hi everyone, I'm Stephen Downs. This is another episode of Stephen Follows Instructions. Today we're going to be looking at configuring email for a Ghost Docker container on Reclaim Cloud. Now, I'll just say this right off the bat. Email is a pain. Let me repeat. Email is a pain. So many moving parts, so many ways it can fail to work. Yeah. So let's see how well this works. So again, I'm following some instructions from Jim Groom here. He posted these yesterday, and I'm doing them today. So here we go. Again, I have not read this article at all, because it's more fun that way, because there are more ways this could go wrong. Okay. When I first installed Ghost many a year ago, it was the most difficult element. The most difficult element of setting it up was getting mail working. He used Mailgun for the first time, and since then, API-driven mail services have become pretty standard. Yes, they have. The way mail works in Ghost now is it has direct mail services backed into the app or baked into the app using Node Mailer for transactional emails like new subscriptions, password changes, etc. This was not the case back in 2016, and that definitely makes things easier. I've always had mail built into Grasshopper, my own application. Difficulty I ran into with Grasshopper is that services eventually decided that stuff coming from downs.ca was spam. I've always suspected that that was in order to get me to switch to a mail server service like MailChimp. Interesting how that works. Maybe not, who knows, right? But I was sending an awful lot of email, all of it requested from OL Daily, which had the downs.ca address on it. So, but yeah, it's a lot easier when you're just running mail out of your own application than having to use a third-party application. I still have all kinds of issues with MailChimp that I never had running it just straight out of Grasshopper. So part of my thinking and what I'm doing here is, maybe I could get away from using MailChimp again. Possibly. Maybe using my installation of Ghost as my OL Daily newsletter and or OL Weekly newsletter, and then just firing that off using mail. But we'll see. I have no idea whether any of that's even conceivable. All right. The other piece regarding email for Ghost is the setup for sending a newsletter, which purposely does not use the Node Mailer setup. To send out a newsletter, which is increasingly the functionality Ghost aligns itself with, you integrate with Mailgun to send the one-to-many emails to avoid getting the server IP address blacklisted for spam. Yes. This is an element of the software I very much appreciate as the proprietor of a hosting company. Yeah. Anyway, setting up email in Ghost was actually far easier for me this time around. Yay, nice, happiness. Once I got my instances URL variable set correctly, which we did in a video just a few moments ago, setting up the email is simple. To be clear, however, if you do not have a Mailgun account, you will need to set one up, given that it's the only service Ghost integrates with out of the box. Also, Mailgun no longer has a free tier, so this will definitely have an associated cost depending on the number of emails you send. Yeah. Same with MailChimp. So let's just stop for a second and look at Mailgun. Mailgun. I mean, if Jim's using it, it's already better than MailChimp, but let's just have a look here. Right. The leading email delivery service for business, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Let's check pricing. All right. Flex, pay as you grow. Okay, it doesn't tell me. Okay, get 5,000 free emails per month for 3 months, then only pay for what you send, and what you send will be 80 cents per 1,000 emails. Now, that sounds like it'd be plenty, right? But I send my newsletter out. Let's see. I'm not sure how many subscribers I have at the moment, but let's just have a quick look here. You see other stuff that I'm reading on the fly, right? Okay. Okay, so let's go to MailChimp. I know this is off topic, but this is all part of the calculations you need to make as you're making this, right? I mean, if Mailgun's too expensive, I'm not even going to consider thinking about installing it from MailChimp. Although I probably just do the instructions. But okay, so log in. There we go, MailChimp. That again is my one password service. And okay, so I ended up in the ethics, analytics, and the duty of care. I ended up with fewer people than with more people than I started with, and they were opening them up pretty good too. But okay, so audiences. So I want all audience dashboards. What I want. No, I want all my audiences. Audience. Where's my other audiences? Manage audience. I don't want just this audience. Oh, here we go. See what I mean? Like, right. Drop downs, you can't see drop downs. You can't see what's inside a drop down. It's a usability nightmare, right? So here we go. OL Daily, I'm sending out to 1177, and OL Weekly's going to 523. So let's do the math on that, right? So 177 times, say, 4 times 5. So let's say 20 times a month. So 177. I hate the new. Probably shouldn't say hate, but I do. I hate the new Windows 11 thing here, because I can't make this bigger, so I can't put enough applications on it. So I can't put things like the calculator, which I only use once in a while, onto the start menu. All right, 1177 times, we said 20. It's a bit more than 20 usually, but I'll just use 20 equals that, and then plus, I don't know, there's no bracketing in here, right? So what's 523 times 4? 523 times 4 is 2,000. 23 times 4 is 92. So 2,092. And that sounds about right. Plus 2092 equals. So, okay, I'm sending out 25,000 emails per month. Let's subtract 3,000, which is what they give me for free. All right. And then times 0.08. $1,800. Have I done that right? 22,000 emails times 8 cents an email is $1,800. That's expensive. Maybe I've misread Railgun. Oh, 80 cents for 1,000 emails, not 8 cents an email. So, okay. So that's actually, let's come back here. Oh, I can't just come back here. Or back here, right? So 22,000 emails. So, okay. 22,632 divided by 1,000 and then times 80. All right, that's better. $18. That's pretty reasonable. MailChimp, I think MailChimp's costing me about $25 right now, give or take. And yes, it comes out of my own pocket because no, NRC does not pay for my OL Daily distribution because they're like that. Okay, so if I was using Mailgun, so at $35 a month, which would be the basic thing, so similar to MailChimp, 50,000 emails included, so that's easily within range of what I'm doing now. Extras, the same rate. From $1.20 for 100 validations. All right, so I guess that's the validation for sign up. So yeah, okay. You can see how that would be more expensive. How many emails do you plan to send a month? Well, let's say 30,000. Yeah, let's be optimistic. Okay. Okay, I see. Right, if I'm going to go over 50, 70, yeah, you see there, I'd be looking at that. So Flex probably is the way to go. Yeah, Flex would definitely be the way to go, and it'd be a bit cheaper than MailChimp because MailChimp goes on tiers, and actually I just went over a tier. This just goes by, a linear volume. All right. So, okay, it's not unreasonably expensive. Let's go back to Ghost. Let's go back to Reclaim. Whoops, not there. Let's go back to Mailgun config. Create a Mailgun account and log in. Okay. So here we are. Let's create a Mailgun account. So, no 6 in my name. Okay. .ca is my company. Downs.ca is my company. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Okay, password. I'm actually not going to use that suggested password because it just displayed. So I'll use this password. Ooh, they're telling me it's not secure. Yes, it is. I know why they're saying it's not secure, but still recommend setting two-factor authentication. Okay, add payment info now. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to complete this off screen. So robot. Creating account. So I'm just putting in my credit card information, which I don't want the whole world to have because, well, you know. And why is it complaining? It's not letting me put it in. Well, that's pretty weird. Maybe it's just because it doesn't like the password. Okay, I'll try generating a new random password then that you won't see. Okay. We'll save that. There we go. Yeah, so it just simply rejected the password is what happened. So now it's doing its little spinny thing, and that means it's checking my credit card to make sure that it's a good credit card. Congrats. Okay, we can come back to reality now. All right, here we go. So here I am back again. I don't need this anymore. And okay, so check your inbox for please verify your Mailgun account. Okay. So, and there's the API key. So let me just check and make sure first. Okay, so it looks like this. And I'm going to click this off screen again. And okay, it wants my mobile phone number. So I've put that in. It's sending a verification code on my phone. So here I am verifying it. Okay. And okay, and validating it, and it accepted that. Okay, so this is what we've got. Sending overview, line, bar, whatever. Oh, this might be way better than MailChimp. So, okay, now it also has API key added. Lovely. I see it here. It's very clear. Key ID and then description API key. So, good. All right. So I'm not going to show you my API key again for obvious reasons, right? So, okay, I think everything's safe to look at now. So here's the Mailgun startup screen. As you can see, I've delivered nothing. So statistics, sending, receiving, validations, inbox placement, etc. Right, and it's the sandbox, right, sandbox domain. All right, so I won't worry about that for now, but that may well come again. Let's just check that before I scroll further on that. Right. So, okay. I'm not going to open these, but down here we can see API keys, documentation, etc., etc. All of this already seems way easier than MailChimp. Way easier. MailChimp, so you saw right off the bat, I couldn't even find my audiences. The way MailChimp works is you define audiences, so I've defined audiences, and then they have what they call campaigns. So, see, and you have to come over here. See, this and this is really confusing. Anyhow, so here's my campaigns, and then there's no easy way to do campaigns, right? But, so each mailing list is basically a campaign. So basically the way I've set it up is I have an ongoing campaign that picks up every day. It picks up my content from the RSS feed and sends that. All kinds of problems actually reading the RSS feed properly, etc. This is the ethics one. It's paused because the course is over. I'll actually be closing out that list and deleting that campaign because the course is over and I don't need to keep all of that stuff, especially since I keep having to pay for it because it's the number of people on my lists and not the number of emails I've sent out. All right, coming back now to the BAV. Okay, create a Mailgun account and log in. Okay, under the domains section, click add new domain. Hint, copy the password. You will need it later. Enter the domain from where you want to send the emails. Okay. Update your DNS records to verify you are an authorized, I guess, sender. Or you are authorized for, anyhow. Verify your domain in Mailgun. Okay. So far so good. So let's go to Mailgun now. Whoops, that's not Mailgun, that's Ghost. That's Mailgun. It sort of looks like a target made out of an @ symbol. Not really keen on the iconography there. Not really keen on something called gun, but that's my sensibilities. All right, so create a Mailgun. Okay, under the domains section, click add new domain. So go here under the domains section. Okay, I have activated it. So let's reload this. All right. Okay, add and verify a domain. Where is the domains section? Oh, dashboard. I'm stuck in sign up. Dashboard. There we go. Okay. Under the domains section. I assume that's down here. No, it isn't. Where is domains? In here? Nope. Add a custom domain. Well, I can add it there. That's in the that's in the getting started section of this thing, but settings, I'm just curious to know where it would be. Right. I don't see it anywhere. Sending. This is it, domains. Okay, so it's under sending in domains, add new domain. Okay, that's good. All right, so now I'm going to have to scroll out here because he said something about passwords. Add new domain. Okay. This looks fine. So I'm just going to make it Ghost because this is all just a test. Downs.ca. We'll make it domain region US. What's the advanced settings? That doesn't matter. But the DKIM something, I don't know what DKIM stands for. Let's check that. Domain keys identified mail. Okay. Mail security. Oh, that's kind of cool. So, we'll leave it like this for now. I don't think it'll matter. 1024 is probably good. We recommend using a subdomain with Mailgun like mgmydomain.com. That's a good point. Instead of calling it ghost, yeah, let's call it mg mailgun.downs.ca. And that way I'll be able to use it for other things too. And I won't be confusing it with ghost.downs.ca. Although, separate MX record, it wouldn't be a problem, but okay. So, okay, now I'm going to come off here again, just in case it's asking me for a password. Add domain. So I clicked on add domain. All right, here's what I got. Right, now we have to go to the DNS provider that you use to manage mg.downs.ca and add the DNS record. Okay. Providers include now for my leftish blog I actually set up an account with what were they called? It's not Network Solutions, it's Cloudflare. Because that's what Reclaim had recommended. But for all the rest of my stuff, I'm still using Reclaim. So I need to add two things. Okay. To add the values. Let's see if I can't back up. Let's back up. You know what? All right, I'm gonna have to change this because I've displayed this domain key, and I don't want to display this domain key. I don't know. Well, no, because that's findable. That's a public key. Anybody looking up domains can find this. And then add these things, enter this value, wait for your domain to verify. All right, so let's do that. So I do that stuff on Reclaim. So let's Reclaim Cloud. I have to go to Reclaim Hosting. I should have just stayed on Reclaim. Oh well. So Reclaim Hosting is where? It's website Reclaim. And yeah, eventually I'll move all of this to Cloudflare when I figure out how to do that. So autofill, log in. All right, cPanel. See, I always want to hit domains there, but that's the wrong place to do it. I always want to hit domains there. That's the wrong place to do it. You have to go to the zone editor. Usually takes me 3 or 4 tries to get to this. All right, so the domain is downs.ca. Right, so I can manage, or I can just add the record here. So that's an A record, that's a CNAME record, that's an MX record, or manage. Let's manage. There's nothing private in here because this stuff is all what's looked up by the entire domain name service. See, there's another one here. Right, so okay, what am I adding here? Come back here. Okay, first of all, text. So I'll copy that. So text. Okay, so let's come over here. Oops, that's not it. Come over here. Text. Right. Let's add a record. All right, so type text, valid zone name, and with a period at the end. Don't forget that. And then the record itself is going to be what they told me. So copy that. And whoops, I keep going to the wrong spot. Okay, that's what they gave me, and I'll save that record. Okay, and I can put these all in. Okay, so there's the record that I just saved. That's not it, although you see how I have that there as well. But for MG, there it is, right? So, all right. It is a bit less than some of these other records, but oh well. Okay, now the other one, another text record. I guess the domain key. So let's put that in. So it's text, right? Yes, they're both text. All right, so add a record, text record. Here's the domain name. And now we'll come back here and we'll add this content. Put that in here. Save record. And so that's done. I've successfully added that. Now I'm going to have to add a couple of MX records, it looks like. Okay, so yeah, MXA and MXB. So that's nice. There's one and then there's a backup. Okay. So two MX, both at MG, and then MXA, mailgun.org, and MXB, mailgun.org. All right, so we'll do that. So, new record. Type MX this time. Valid zone name. Okay, put the period on the end. And priority 10. Yeah, priority 10, and here's the value. So come back here, priority 10, which is like super low. And there's the value. No period, right? No, no period. Interesting that they don't have the periods at the end here. Because that used to really confuse people. And it does so less so now. Add record, MX, mg.downs.ca. Does so less so now because we have interfaces that aren't requiring that you actually type the period. Now this is MXB. There we go. Save that record. But this interface, you still have to type the period. All right, and then one more. Something for verification. So that's a CNAME. Necessary for tracking opens, clicks, and unsubscribes. So recommended. So let's do it. So host name email.mg.downs.ca. Enter this value, mailgun.org. Okay. So let's come back here. So add record, CNAME, valid zone name, and fully qualified zone name or domain name. which was mailgun.org. Oops. All right. And save the record, and we're done. Okay. So now it says it can take 24 to 48 hours for these changes to propagate. Let's verify these settings. So this is checking the local, probably. All right. Or it may have just checked it directly. I don't know what it did. Or maybe it's just verifying. I don't know what it verified, but at least it's a way to check. So it says 24 to 48 hours to propagate. My experience is that used to be the case. Today it tends to propagate much faster. Way faster. So, okay, so we're done that. You can close that. We're probably done this, but let's go back and see what Jim says. Okay, update your, and then verify your domain in Mailgun when DNS changes propagate. Well, I just did verify them, and they actually seem to have worked. Don't need that, I'm working on this. So yeah, check marks across the board. So, okay, let's assume they've worked and that we're done that step. All right. Also, the post creating a newsletter using Ghost goes through all the details of setting up Mailgun for Ghost in great detail, so I would check that out. The long and short of it is, once Mailgun is set up, the integration with Ghost is just an API key away. So let's look at this. I imagine it's telling us how to do all the things that I just did. Creating your email with Ghost. So create a Mailgun account, create a Mailgun domain, set up your DNS records. Okay. Configure the email newsletter setting in Ghost. Find your Mailgun region and domain. Find your Mailgun API keys here. And then, you set some settings. Add the Mailgun settings in the Ghost container. Right. And then you can try it out. So we might come back to that if we need to. We'll just keep that on the back burner for now. And let's go to here. So the long and the short of it is, once Mailgun is set up, the integration with Ghost is just an API key away. So, okay. So I wonder where this is. Assume it's in Ghost, right? Okay. I wonder how I'm going to get... I don't even know what screen this is. So here's Ghost. This is my Ghost. I think there's an admin screen for it. Maybe it's admin. No. Portal. Portal? Unable to connect. An error occurred during a connection to localhost 23.68. Oh boy. Okay, let's try reloading this page. Remember, now that seems like the problem that Jim had before. Portal. Yeah, there we go. So that's the difference between, that's the before and the after for setting that environment variable of URL. Okay. So there's, how do I get to this? I need to get to this somehow. Getting started. Floating portal button is completely optional. All right, it doesn't matter. Downs Ghost. I can't remember how to get into author. About home. There's an admin screen somewhere, but I don't know what it is. Let's try to look it up. Ghost admin screen. Where is admin page? That's such a darn good question. Okay. Control F. Admin. Where is admin page? None of this helps me. How to find your Ghost login URL? Oh, just add Ghost. Okay. Maybe that's it. Here it is. Alright. So, Downs Ghost. There we go. So, it'd be better if it said admin there instead of ghost, but yeah, I guess after a while you'd remember. Okay, so we were looking for email newsletter settings, so presumably it's somewhere in here. Downs Ghost, start creating content. New post, drafts, etc. Dashboard. Let's try dashboard. This is the dashboard. Yeah, okay. Design, email. Aha, okay. So I found that on the dashboard here where it said customize your site. Design email, so I clicked on email. So email newsletter settings. Okay, and this is expand. Ta-da! Okay. Mailgun region, still US. Mailgun domain. So his was, just Bava Tuesdays. So mine's just going to be downs.ca. See, I don't know how he set up his domain in Mailgun. Whether he created an mg.bavatuesdays.com or not. So let's go with mg.downs.ca for now. And then the Mailgun private API key. So the Mailgun private API key is going to be, let's go back to the dashboard, and it's going to be here. So I'm not going to I don't know what it did, but I hope I didn't show my Mailgun API key. I don't think I did. So that dashboard, here we go, API keys. All right. Okay, so I'm seeing here 3 API keys. I can show you this because they're kind of grayed out. So private API, public validation key, and HTTP webhook signing key. So this public key, public validation key, is used for the email validation service. But I'm betting it's the private API key that I'm using. Let's come back here and see. Ghost. Mailgun private API key. Okay. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to copy it from my Mailgun API keys, private API key. Oh, let's reset it. Okay, so I'm going to copy it. There's no little button to copy it, so I have to highlight it and do a Control-C. And now I'm going to the Ghost page where I'm putting it in with Control-V. And it hides it nicely, which makes me happy. I imagine there's a way to see it, but maybe not. Save settings. Okay, settings saved. So now what that means is that Ghost should be able to send email through whatever commands it uses to send email to using Mailgun. So let's close that. Now let's see if Jim has a way of testing that for us. Oops. All right. So we've done this. You can also set the email addresses where newsletter recipients can reply or seek support in the settings newsletter just above where you set the API. So settings newsletter. Let's go back to settings. Oh, now it looks different. Email newsletter. Okay. Expand settings newsletter just above. Oh yeah, here we go. Email. Right. Okay. So support email address, newsletter email address, newsletter replies go to. Okay. So these are emails that are going to appear on emails that I send out. I'm just going to set them to stephen@downs.ca for now. Okay, update. Check your email inbox and confirm. So let's do that. You've got mail. Okay, this is just an auto from okay, that was just an automated email from Mailgun just saying thank you for choosing Mailgun. See, there it is. But I haven't received, it says check your email, your inbox and confirm before saving your settings. It makes it sound like I'm getting email here, but I'm not getting email here, so I'll just assume that it just means make sure you got your email address right, which is fair enough. Okay, so I'm going to hit save settings. So I've done that. Okay, back to Jim. See, and he just used jimgroom@gmail.com. No problem. Last piece is setting up the SMTP variables in your Docker container to use Mailgun. Right. I believe by adding the Mailgun variables to the container, you will also be pushing transactional and email through the Mailgun rather than using the node mailer, which would be the mailer right in Docker. But I may be wrong on this. Below our environmental variables, I added in the container on Reclaim Cloud using the additional options variables area. Okay. So there's the mail from. Okay. So we know how he added these. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go to this in Reclaim. All right, and I'm going to go to Ghost Variables and just going to check this off screen in case there's passwords and stuff. Okay, I don't see any passwords. I see the mail from and URL that I added before. There they are. So, these mail options off. These are. This has to come from. These must all come from Mailgun. So let's do some of the easier ones first, and then we'll get to the mystery ones. So mail transport, mail from, foobar. Okay. All right. So let's see now. Okay. Let's just do them one at a time. Mail transport value SMTP. All right. That's easy enough. So mail transport. Gotta be careful not to add that space on the end there. That has that's one of these things that gets you. So I'm going to add. So mail transport. See, if I had a space there, I wouldn't see it. Now it's put a little red box around it. That's nice. When you're programming software, if you don't check for that, people can do that and they'll never find that error. So when you're writing software, you have to check for those leading and trailing spaces. Okay, SMTP, save, saved. Next one. Right. From, and then a value, so mail from. I think we did that already, didn't we? Yes, mail from, we've done that. Ghost at downs.ca. Maybe I want to change that to something that actually exists. Stephen at downs.ca. I'll apply that. Whoops. Dang. Applying. All right, let's come back into my Ghost server. Variables. All right. Yeah, it didn't even. So, oh, there we go. Save. I didn't see save there because it's in the same color as the background. All right. Next one. Mail Options Service, SMTP. Okay. So let's put that in there. So add Mail Options Service, SMTP. Save. Oops. Mail Options Host. Okay, so he used EU. I'm using the Americas domain. It might be AM or it might be something else. I don't know. So I'm going to have to find that somewhere. Okay. Let's see. Let's check. There's a thing here. See where it says domain settings? I'm going to click on that. I'm going to do it off screen here first, just in case. So domain settings, general. Okay, when I hit general, it's just some general variables like that. DNS records. Those are the records that I've just entered. SMTP credentials. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to have to create a login for that, but we still don't see. So this is just the plain settings, the out of the box settings, and the password here you can't see, so I need to change that. This is the DNS records, remember, that we set before, and then the API keys. Key ID. I don't have no idea what that is. Here's what I'm seeing. So domain settings, domains, logs. Okay, so, and I'm trying to find mail options host. For Mailgun. So and see, I just don't know whether it's AM or, because like he used EU, is it AM or is it something else? Let's see what happens when I click on that. Should get something. No. Okay, let's go to who is. Okay. And now I'll test that. Search. Right, okay, so that exists. Oh, it's domain smtp.com. What? What? Huh. Well, that's stupid. That's not right at all. Let's try this. All right, this might be better. I don't know. I am not a robot. I am not a robot. If I was a robot, I would never be able to click in a box. All right. So it's just the record for Mailgun. So I can't tell whether it's AM. I have no way of telling. I have no way of knowing. I can't figure it out. My goodness, that's annoying. I'm just looking for some reference. Database Mailgun smt.eu again. And I believe I may have actually, oh no, Yeah, I closed the out of annoyance almost. I closed. Yeah, I closed this, but really, here we go. So I don't know where to find the post of value 587 either. Like, I assume it's the same for me, but settings, email, newsletter. Email address, support email. And these didn't take my. I need to reload this. Nope. I remember setting these. API. Save these settings. They never did send emails to this, so. Okay, I've clicked that little settings buttons down at the bottom. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's there. Integrations. Nope, that's not what I want. Code injection, no. Email newsletter. Okay. Email addresses. And again, it just simply refuses to update those. Because we don't know why. Well, So I wonder how you know this. I'm just going to put in AM, mail options post. Oh, I know. Let's just search for this. And then wherever this comes up, the other one may well too. I put it in quotes to get this exact thing. It'll be US. Okay. See, I would have got it wrong. Here we go. See, they're using EU, 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 EU. Dedicated IPs are region bound, eh? Boy, that's nice, but you really should say what the other regions things are. So let's see if US shows up anywhere. No results found anywhere. Okay, Mailgun API documentation. Try to find it somewhere in the page here. Find with us, user. It's not actually on the page. Oh, it's really weird. Mailgun is hosting. So I guess it started out as EU, and oh, here we go. You use either smtp.mailgun.org or smtp.eu.mailgun.org. All right. So this then is smtp.mailgun.org. All right. Figured it out. Edit. No. New. Mail options. Host. And so it's just smtp.mailgun.org. Remove the EU from that. So it must have started out in the US and then migrating to Europe. That's when you add the EU all over the place. All right, next. Mail options port 587. I'm going to assume, without documentation, that that's the same. So there's 587 is one of the allowed ports. Okay. So let's come back here. Add 587. Save. All right. Next. Mail options. Auth. So authentication, this has got to be authentication, user authentication password. So postmaster at your Mailgun domain. And then your Mailgun password. Now, what is my Mailgun domain? Good darn question. What is my Mailgun domain? Dashboard. Domains. mg.downs.ca. That's going to be my Mailgun domain. Yes, it is. All right. mg.downs.ca. So this will be postmaster at your Mailgun domain. So let's put that in. Oops. That's the old. So mail options auth user. You're not winning any prizes here for clarity, Jim. Postmaster at mg.downs. No, wait, that's not what it was it? Let's come back. mg.downs.ca. Okay. Downs.ca. Save that. And now the password. seen these things. Domain verification walkthrough. No, that's not what I wanted. Can't sending limitation, etc. SMTP. No. Let's just go with user authentication. No. Too broad. Way too broad. API user authentication. Where can I find my API and SMTP credentials? Okay, it's the SMTP credentials that I'm looking for. Oh, well this might have been easier to find before. They're different for each domain. Here we go. SMTP credentials. Just copy this into your stuff, Jim. Okay. So click on sending and click on domains. Select your desired domain. Click on domain settings and then click on SMTP credentials tab. All right. So clicking on sending. So let's go to the dashboard. Oh, this is Ghost. I want to be in Mailgun. Okay, click on sending. Then domains. Right. And then select your desired domain. Aha, okay. Click on domain settings and then SMTP credentials. Domain settings. I remember this. Domain settings. I remember this page. But I don't see where it says domain settings anywhere. Oh, it's down here. It's not on this page, it's down here. Okay, so domain settings. And then pick SMTP. What did it say? Oh yeah, SMTP credentials. Ah, okay. See, I did. I figured this one out, right? Postmaster. Right, and now I have to reset this password. Okay. So I'm going to reset a password here. So hang on, I'm just going to have a look. Yes, I am sure. A new password has been generated. Click copy to copy it to the clipboard. I'm not even seeing it. That's really interesting. Okay. So see what's happened here? So I hit reset and then I clicked copy to copy it to the clipboard. Now I can come over here and I'll add the thing. Now I still have to put in the name here. Mail options, what was it? Mail options auth pass. Mail options auth pass. And now the value, I'm going to paste the value in. I don't know if it'll obscure it, so I'll paste it off screen. And it did not obscure it. Bad interface, bad. I'm going to save it. I'm going to apply it. And it's there, visible for anyone to see. So I'm not going to show it to you. I'm going to apply it. So I've clicked apply. So when I clicked apply, okay, it showed that it has been successfully updated. I could click on environment settings again, but I'm not going to. But you see how this is way, well, in theory, way more secure than having this password out on a file somewhere, right? Now, of course, if I get into this, I can show it. But this is, in theory, this is harder to get into than my Ghost container, because, you know, if you can hack Ghost or whatever, or Nginx, you know, if you can hack either of those servers, you can get into the server, but the password's nowhere on that server. It's in a completely other environment. This environment here, my reclaimed cloud environment. That's why these cloud providers they go crazy about security and authentication, as they should. All right. So, let's restart. Well, let's see what Jim says first. Okay. Having added these variables to Bava Ghost has not done any damage to the instance yet. And I can confirm that transactional emails are now being sent via Mailgun. So if I'm right, the variables are now using Mailgun for transactional emails as well. So it probably makes sense to change them, then restart your container so the changes take effect. And remember to be patient. Given you might get an Nginx error for a bit until the Ghost instance fully restarts. As we saw before, it takes a couple of minutes. All right, so let's restart it. So restarting, not redeploy, restart. Big difference between that, and yet the icons are so similar. All right, restart Ghost containers. It never did accept my changes for some of those variables, but, well, what can you do? Like it never did. We come back here, SMTP settings, DNS domain settings, general, DNS records, SMTP credentials, sending API keys. Let's just check that offline for a sec. Right. That was that mystery thing. Yeah. Okay. So sending overview, domains, logs, current retention period, 5 days. I don't really need any more than that. Analytics, nothing yet. Templates, I haven't done anything there. Suppressions, nothing yet. Webhooks, nothing yet. IPs, nothing yet. Mailing lists, haven't created one yet. Domain settings, here's the domain settings for mg.downs.ca. So I guess that's how that works, right? You have to pick the domain you want to work on. Can I change that here? Yeah, I can. I can change it in the sandbox. See, these are the settings for the sandbox. These are the settings for mg.downs.ca. Inbox placement, don't care. Settings. So these are all of my settings, my main settings. TFA, I would probably turn that on if I was using this. There's the dashboard. Verify a custom domain. Let's hit that. I'm just going to close this because we don't need that anymore. Oh, well, I don't need to. Okay, well, that's not very helpful. Let's go back to the dashboard. Send an email. Okay, email yourself. Do it. Show me how. Oh, send via HTTP and delivers via SMTP. Send via API. Right, curl API, your API key. Right, so this is a way I could just test it right from a terminal if I had curl. Now the Microsoft ones don't always have curl. Curl is a command, basically like CURL, right? Go to or send this request to a URL, and then this is the user, the domain, from, to. Okay, send via SMTP, verify your domain. Still don't know how to verify. Right, that's just that. Verify it by setting the DNS records that we provide. Okay, well, I did that. Okay. Right, these are the values for the. This is what was in Jim's article, I think. Common DNS providers, you are all set. So, okay. Let's go to Ghost. Here I am in Ghost. So let's see if I could see again. I've followed all the instructions. I don't know how to test this to make sure what I've done has worked. Okay. Yeah. No, I don't. I'm not surprised you have to pay for mail. Um, it's just not an option anymore for real people to send email off their own servers, because if you do that, it's gonna get flagged as spam. Period. It's gotta go through one of these providers. That's the only way. And even then, it might sometimes get flagged as spam, but you're less likely to have it flagged as spam. Okay, and that's the end of the post. So, success? Maybe. New site. Let's go to my site, because it should send transactional emails, right? So let's go and subscribe. So subscribe myself. Sign up. Now check your email. It did sign. Hey there. Tap the link below to complete the sign up process for Downs Ghost and be automatically signed in. I have successfully subscribed to Downs Ghost. All right. Email works. Email works. Email works. All right. So that's it then. So pretty hard. That took some figuring out to do, even with instructions. That was not the easiest thing in the world, but it does appear to have all worked. It's probably good that I set the environment variable ahead of time and figured out how to do that before. So, but yeah, I'm not sure separating that into two separate articles really made much of a difference, given how long it took me to do the email thing. But the email thing would have been a lot easier if I'd been told where to find things. That's, like, where, okay, this will be unique for you. Okay, sure. Where do I can't just make these up. So where do I find these for me?